Hey guys, it's Hef and I am back with a stamping tutorial of a sort. These are two of my newest Born Pretty plates, so that video is up currently on my channel, my haul of them, so if you want to see that I will leave a link down below. On my nails currently I have Rimmel 60-second in round and round in circles. This is supposed to be a one coat polish. I've got two coats and it still doesn't look great. I have French tip acrylics underneath and you can still see the nail line quite clearly. So what I am going to do is something like what is practiced on this hand quite badly. We're actually going more for what this nail looks like. So what I have here is I have BPL 26, which is different types of leaves, and I'm going to use this image right here, and I'm going to use this Ultra 3 Frog Prints green polish. Actually stamps really nicely. And for the other part we are using BPL 29 and this image right here. So I also have 4 stampers. Now the reason I have 4 stampers is because I have no patience whatsoever, and in part 2, or the second part of this when we do the flower, there's a bit of waiting time involved. So I have 4 stampers out, I have my scraper. For the flowers we are going to use Ultra 3's Lily White and Ultra's Hot Spring, which are really nice bright pinky purple kind of colour. I also have this to clean up with. This is a tampon applicator with cotton wool stuck in the end of it. When you've got your nails painted, you don't want to trash them, please. When you're using acetone, it will ruin your nail polish. So using this, get this thing called the claw, which I don't currently have, but this, it kind of works okay. Just dip it in nail polish remover or acetone or whatever, and for cleaning up. So I also have acetone, and I also have some sticky tape if I need to clean up around the nails. It's just really good for removing. Let's see if I can, got a teeny tiny bit on this finger. Basically, all you do is put the tape on the bit on your skin and it lifts it up for you without having to use acetone or anything around your fingernails. So let us get started. So we'll start with this plate, the leafy plate. Put the polish on one side, use your scraper, scrape down. Now I'd prefer to have bigger stampers, but I don't actually currently. Squish down on it, pick it up, and you can see the image on the stamper. For these nails, because they're quite long, I tend to start at the bottom, roll up and side to side. Now I have found that I get this happening where it doesn't quite get quite a bit left on there. This is all, a technique thing. It's all something that you learn with a bit of practice. You get better with practice. Some polishes work better than others, clearly. This Ultra 3 polish is not too bad for it. I don't actually own any stamping polishes, so I have to go with what I've got. The other option is to start on one side and roll across the finger. The problem is because my stamper's not very long, I have to then go top and bottom. That one transferred just a little bit better. So I'm just going to finish off doing this on my other nails and I'll be back. Okay, we've done that on all of those fingers, and now we're going to move on to the next step. So we have our stamping plate. Use this image here, and I've got my little stampers ready. So the first time I'm going to do, the first couple I'm going to do with the pink. Use that scraper because it's terrible. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it on the red stamper, pink stamper, but little image there. Probably should have used one of the other stampers for that one. And we'll do another one. If you get any around the edge of the image, just use your nail, scrape it off. You can see that one a bit better. And then I'm going to do a couple with white as well. You can see I didn't quite scrape that one properly, so you get like this milky edge around it, but that's alright. Nobody's perfect. And one more. Nothing on there. Alright, now move that out of the way. Just scrape her out of the way. So what we're going to do now is whatever colour we didn't stamp with, we're just going to fill in our little flower design. It's probably a bit hard to see on this one. Just like that. And then you have to very patiently wait for it to dry. That one, and on the two white ones I'm going to paint with pink. Now it is very important that you let it dry till it's almost dry. You don't want it to be too wet at all, otherwise it will just slide on the nail and that will just look, that's basically what happened with this one, is it was not quite dry enough and so it slid when I put it on the nail. And also if it's not quite dry, even if it goes on, it can sort of like fold over on itself. Same sort of thing happened here. As you mean, this is a good indicator that just because you try it doesn't necessarily work. That was the first one I did and I just didn't think it was interesting enough. So that's probably the most successful of them. So I have no idea whether this will actually work now for me on camera. So you just test them occasionally. Just tap your finger. That was my phone. Just tap your finger on it and see if it's basically dry. This one seems pretty dry. Okay. So let's see how we go. So you have to squish it down pretty hard to get it to transfer. So just push it down, rock it backwards and forwards. And you'll notice when you look underneath that sometimes it hasn't quite attached. And there we go. It's not perfect, but you know, it's pretty good, kind of abstract. Let's have a look at this one. Yep. Let's try this one on the middle finger. Trying to get it in frame. Oh, look at that one. Ah, pretty. That's basically what I was going for. Alright. Try this one. Now this one's not quite as dry. I can tell by what it did. There's a little messy spot just there. And there's quite a bit still left on the stamp. Alright, and the last one. This one did not want to come off the stamper, but it's still stamped pretty well and or transferred pretty well in the end. Bits of it missing, but you know, so good. So I'm just going to do one for my thumb off camera and then we'll be back. So once you've done your stamping on all your fingernails, just get some quick dry top coat. I'm using Ollie's Inner Snap on mine at the moment. The key to this is to have a decent amount of polish on the brush and to float the nail polish, the top coat down the nail. As you can see, I've still got some streaking. So the other trick you can do is do your first one, then wipe off the brush. Second stroke, wipe off the brush, and then your third stroke, and you get less streaking. So there you are, guys. That is my first design using my new Born Pretty plates. If you would like to see more, then leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you're not already, and leave me a comment. I try to respond to all comments. I also have a coupon code down the bottom for 10% off at Born Pretty store. And I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.